Good evening, good evening, good evening. We are still celebrating Pride Month. Yes, we are. Are you tolerant or are you a bigot? Choose wisely. The world is watching. Hey, it's Rashana, your friend, the truth teller here. We have just come off of the primary election for all of the state offices in New Jersey, which I've been talking about on a slight rant. We also had some municipalities or county that had elections for their committee members. And last week, we had the pleasure of having a candidate, longtime candidate in the city of Orange Township, Bill Hathaway, was there with us. Let me turn my phone off. He's so bad. I'm sorry. And so he's going to come back tonight and talk about what happened in his election. But we also are going to chop it up a little bit about the state and what's happening with now the two candidates who are running on the partisan election. Before we start, I wanted to just say, good show, Assemblyman Holly. Nothing beats a failure but a try. And now you know, as you said in your tweet, what you should be doing differently as you go back out and try and seek that Senate seat, and I hope that you will. Kudos to the Wyatt campaign. That was an awesome showing. And 40% is not bad, right? So good job, Brother Richard. I will talk to you soon. Congratulations to your running mate. I believe you guys were on the same line, Miss Briggs Jones. So congratulations to you, Miss Terry. Maybe you'll come on and talk about what your plans are once you take your seat. And it was an interesting race in Plainfield, no doubt. Like I said, you had them shook. So hand claps to you all. I did mention also the Essex County Sheriff race. And when I spoke to Mayor Smith, it was, his thoughts were it's going to be interesting. And my thoughts were it's more people in Essex County than just a few Black folks. And the results prove that. There's a long-time sheriff, congratulations. But there's a need for change. And I believe that in order to change things, you need to try and work with the folks who are in power. I've said it a number of times. And if not, you run against them. So now, Mr. Arnold, because you have taken that leap and tried to run against the incumbent, I hope that you will, extend that olive branch and now try to work with him even more. And if you feel like you want to run again, run again. But now, make sure that you are reaching out to everyone. Elections are more than race, ethnicity. The election should be about all of the people who you are seeking to serve. And you want to get them excited to vote for you, which is what I know Bill and his team did when they were running to keep their committee seats. Have people excited. There's a saying that fear motivates them, but excitement motivates them as well. If you are someone who they know they trust and they can depend on, and you have the ideas that are in line with your, intended constituencies, values, and what they expect, then, you'll have success in that, and plus a lot of hard work. Also, congratulations to the East Orange team. Mayor Green, congratulations on your re-election. Yep. So I want to bring in Bill Hathaway. He is our committee man from Orange Township, and he actually won his election, and he's going to tell us a little bit about that and how his challenge was, and then we'll, talk a little bit about the governor's race. So welcome, Bill.
Hey, what's up, Rashana? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome. How are you? I know you feeling pretty awesome, right?
Listen. I'm more relaxed than I was when the last time I was on your show. I didn't get much rest. The night before the election, I was a little tired yesterday, but energized, knowing that you have my back on your show tonight. So we're just gonna talk about.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everybody that's helped throughout the election. I just want to name a young, older woman that lives down the block. We had met through. We had just met a couple weeks ago. Her name is Sandra Jordan. She's one of our constituents. She's one of my constituents in the West Ward. through Councilman Johnson. You know, she was really very energetic woman, worked hard, got her neighbors out to vote for me. You know, just
Mm-hmm.
made everybody aware that it was like an election, even though it was a primary. You know, but I felt good. I mean, the only anticipated thing I was working, you know, we had a major storm on Tuesday, so you know I had to
Right.
buckle and take shelter for about 2 hours because the rain was intense in Orange here. But I, you know, I just got my feet wet. You know what I mean? I was out there with the umbrella, meeting and greeting voters. You know, we got the news about our committee election through ssclerk.com. All of our team members won very successfully. Some of them, you know, that ran unopposed always wins an election. You know, when you're online, hey, I'm not gonna
Right.
brag, but I'm not gonna brag for nothing because I just love the energy of elections. You know, it just brings you back and say, you know, we just got to get this vote out. You know, just to educate people, you know, to vote and all that type of stuff. But you know, I feel more relaxed than I was on your show a couple weeks ago. I mean, about a week ago before the election. But you
Well,
know,
I'm
but
glad you feel
I'm
comfortable. And when you called me and said you want to come and say, you know, what the results were, I was excited for you and happy that you wanted to join me. So yeah, welcome and
it was
again,
like
congratulations.
I thank you. It was like well organized election. You know, our other team members, we were all out and about on election day. The temperatures were very hot in the morning. I mean, 84 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning. And you're drinking
Mm-hmm.
Gatorade and water and just trying to stay hydrated. And you know, you anticipate what's going to happen. You know, you're out there meeting, greeting people. You know that they rely on you. You know, you
Right.
work for them. Like I spoke on your show last week. You know, we don't get paid as district leaders. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not it's a thankless job, you know. But people did come up to me congratulating me. I like the mayor had a we had a little chat on Tuesday night. He congratulated me on getting the vote out. My ward in the West Ward District 3 doesn't really come out to vote in primaries. I don't know why. We have to work on that, you know, just to get people out to vote. We had a total of 120 people come out to vote. So you know,
That was it in
it's
your ward?
yeah, we have yeah in West 3. Yeah, we only had 120 people come out to vote, but that's all right, long as they were on my side.
Right,
But
right,
you
right,
know,
right.
we got
So listen,
you
that's when you said that not that many people came out, that's concerning and it's also going to affect
it
in
is
results
concerning.
for November.
It is concerning. It was concerning to me throughout the day, maybe because of the temperatures that were very high in the morning, like the temperatures 84. And, you know, people did come out to vote, and I do appreciate everybody that came out to vote here in Orange. But you know, the temperatures were very hot. I had to keep myself hydrated with the water and the Gatorade constantly all throughout the day. At the end of the day, the Orange Democratic Committee members that I spoke of won the seats back. You know, we had some challenges. Miss Eason won, Kevin Hardaway won, Stacey Martin won overwhelmingly. You know, and that shows
Mm-hmm.
you that we've put the work in. You know, once you put the work
Right.
in, if you don't put the work in, you don't win. You know, and that's how it works in a political scenery. You know what I mean?
So
But
I
I
do
feel
because I'm a
great.
committee person too. So listen, Bill, you have your work cut out for you now in November as a committee man, right? You're supposed to
Yeah,
help
this is
and support.
we get a look. This is what happens. We our chairman he took a break. You know, went away for a minute. You know, rest and relaxation. So on next week sometime we get together as a committee. We do a reorganization meeting. Vice president, president, treasurer. You know, the officers that we're gonna is gonna lead our committee in the next 3.5 to 4 years. And let me tell you, we have an election. Then the county has a an election coming up. Chairman Jones, his people sent out cards to all district leaders, and we have it at West Orange High School. I mean, It's fun. I mean, you get to know your colleagues from different towns. You get the chit chat for them. But it's like this: when you go to their meeting, they're already organized. They know who the officers are, who the president is. The chairman is the president. But everybody knows who they're gonna vote for. Is well organized. But you get the chance to meet with other people from other municipalities like Northeast Orange, Irvington. Hey, it's good conversation and it's good talk. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. So listen, as a committee person, what I was going to ask you is, you have your work cut out for you, because you guys are in expected to help and get the vote out for the upticket in November, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the work starts. I mean, just it continues, like you said the last show. It continues. We just have to get people out to vote for Governor Murphy, and his election is going to be tough off the bat. I mean, it is what it is. This is the level I have to being on the committee. You mean hey, if you haven't got registered, please register. We have a big election coming up. It's game on, like the Star Ledger said today, with Governor Murphy and Jack Ciccarelli. He's a Republican on the Republican side, and it's game on. I mean, Republicans, Democrat. We just got to keep going forward with the leadership of Murphy. I mean, Murphy has done a tremendous job. He has been under attack because of the coronavirus issues, as far as the facial mask, as far as other stuff. You know what I mean? To open up the restaurants, but the state is about to open up a little by a little every day. I mean, it's an uphill battle in November. I mean, we're going to be doing a vote by phones. I mean, you get on the phones, you voter registration, like we're talking about vote by mail. This is the key thing to anybody's candidacy, is you vote by mail. So the vote by mail thing comes out, just fills it out, just a general application. On the bottom, like I said, vote for life. I made a joke about it. Vote for life. So this vote by mail is a key to everybody's election. If you're running for office, one of these things, and you could be losing an election, and also comes in, a mail ballot comes in, boom, here's a couple more votes for them. So I had a total of maybe about 27 mail-in ballots. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My are run by mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots are a very important key to an election, but I just encourage people to actually vote by mail. I mean, it's a simple process. Then you don't have to go to the polls. It's an application. You just get a stamp, throw it in the mail, and they send you a ballot back when the election starts, and that's how it works.
Yep, that's good advice. I always say that too. And also, I told you I signed up to vote for life by mail, just in case, just to avoid any drama and conflict. So, thank you very much for sharing. Huh?
Say it again, Rashawn.
What you said?
I said it's not for life. It's a joke. That was a joke. Vote by
no. Technically, it was real, because you vote by mail unless you write otherwise on a new form. So that's what I did. So for all future elections, yeah. So everything's gonna come to me in the mail. I don't have to worry about it. I'm just gonna make sure my mailman gets it to me on time. So that's another issue at the federal level, a whole nother issue.
The thing about it with this election compared to last elections, we all had to vote by mail, so everybody got a mail-in ballot. This election, it was different. If you didn't sign that thing on the bottom, it says you want to receive a ballot for every election. It wasn't going to come. So I like to share a book right here. It's called The Municipal Guide. I get this every year, and I hand it out to some of my people in my ward. It talks about the different townships. Chris Durkin is on the cover of it, as you see the county clerk here in Essex County. It gives you a number. If I like to share it, if you can put it in your speed or something. The office of the county clerk is 973-621-7638.
Hold on. I don't
Okay.
have a pencil. So it's the county clerk. What's the number? 973
973-621-7638. That's
621 7638 7638.
no 973-621-7638.
Okay, 7638. Thank you. We'll definitely make sure that the folks know to get that municipality guide through your Essex County clerk. That's a book that's very important. It's very informational too. So
Oh,
that's awesome to have. Mhm.
covers also the Essex County Clerk's Office by numbers, the Essex County Register of Deeds and Mortgages, where people have issues in reference to the deeds of the houses.
Mhm.
Um, it's a very educational book. So what I did as committee person, the first time that I won, I got this book, and I took time to look out. It talks about the election cycle. It
Mhm.
talks about the general election, the freeholder meetings, all types of stuff. So you can contact the clerk at
Okay.
621-7638, 973 area code in Essex County.
Got it.
That's a basic handbook right here. I'm showing this in the
Okay.
screen, viewers.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's what.
Well, again, I want to congratulate you and thank you for coming on. And I am going to chop it up for a few minutes about the candidates for governor. So,
Okay. Do you want me to talk about a little about the governor's race? I
no,
can stay.
because
No.
we are on opposing sides right here. I don't support the other guy, but I'm not going to endorse Murphy until I see, that he really has the best interest of all of the little people, not just those who campaigned for him. Because I don't know if you knew I said it before. I never sell fundraisers. I bought a whole table or sold a whole table for his election. Mostly in part because of his candidate he was running with, Representative Oliver. But I'm not very impressed. He's lacking a lot of these appointments on certain boards that haven't been made in 4 years. Like, these boards are important. And, when you call the governor's office, you see him out, it's like all smiles and handshakes, but there's no real connection, so unless it has anything to do with his campaign. And that's typical. But again, I'm going to keep my eyes on all of the candidates. I don't know if there's an independent. I haven't done that much research, but I doubt it. But I mean, at this point, I'm running for my interest, and then here's another thing about Murphy. Phil Murphy wants to punish firearms owners, legal firearm owners, talking about registering your bullets and all kind of extra layers of whatever. Now, I do agree that there should be, background checks. I do agree that people who have issues or could be a danger should not have a weapon. But at the end of the day, King Murphy is trying to punish those of us who are legal firearm owners. And the last thing that I'm concerned about with the King is the fact that he has declared that there is no virtual school for September. Like, nobody had a conversation with the parent. No, there was no town hall about that. And the last thing they just did recently was extending his powers in a weird kind of vote that was unnecessary, to be honest with you, because he could have ended the state emergency without the legislators voting on it. That vote was to give him extra power. So that concerns me about the King. I know you support him. I'm just saying.
I know. I mean, some of the hot topics in this election is going to be talking about raising the minimum wage in New Jersey, instituting equal pay, tightening gun control. I was watching CNN today. They had a horrible shooting in Florida. Where the guy went into a supermarket, shot the supermarket up, and wounded people. Might have killed somebody. But
but Bill, look, Bill,
what?
The guy who had the firearm, right? Did he get that firearm legally or illegally? Because what we've seen in a lot of the mass shootings is there's a mental defect or a mental illness that drives people to do that, right? So in our state, there's a law now, the red flag, whatever they call it. If somebody can write a note, a letter, go to the police and say, Rashana's a danger to herself or others, and they can confiscate my weapons, right? Until they do their research. That, that's a little overstepping if you ask me. But when you see these people with all of these weapons and they're going to shoot people, many of them have mental illnesses and shouldn't have had a firearm in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So that's part of the problem. Those are the laws you want to fix.
I mean, everything is on the table for this election, but we just want to get the people out to vote. You know what I mean? The governor.
They don't want to just vote down the party line. They want to get the information. You need to be checking out both candidates, right? Because Chitterelli was formerly in the legislature. He served in his county. He served in his municipality. I don't care what his title is and his whatever it is, but he has a record of service, right? Where the king showed up, having been an appointment of the president, but what has he done really in New Jersey before he jumped out and ran for governor? We all jumped on the bandwagon because he has Sister Oliver with him. I'm just saying.
Oh, I know. Listen. Murphy, I mean, he's done what he's trying to control this coronavirus. You know what I mean? He's trying to keep people safe, basically, like I talked about, the guaranteed sick pay. I'm a part-time worker. I don't have any sick time at my job. I get right now I get paid time off. That's the sick time that I got.
Not anymore because it just rescinded all that. That law that they just passed, that's all gone. There's no more corona sick days.
Oh, I know that.
It's over.
I know that.
Because once the emergency ends, so too will the emergency policies, right? So in my work, once the executive order and the legislature was signed or whatever, we got the information immediately. You will no longer be able to be eligible for this because it doesn't exist anymore. The emergency is over. So here's the thing. What happens if you do get COVID, God forbid, right? Or someone gets it and your job doesn't have the funding or you're not eligible for benefits? You can't go to that fund because it's gone
now. It is what it is, Rashana. I know you're telling the truth. That's why they call you Rashana the truth teller.
Truth teller. Listen, I'm just telling the truth. But I want everybody, I'm proud that, I know you're going to work hard for your party.
But
our party in instance.
Say that again.
I said, I know you're going to work hard for your party because you're dedicated to them. But like I said, I have learned to vote my interest. I voted for Murphy. I voted for Murphy, right? In New Jersey. He didn't win. The Murphy I voted for. I voted for Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Eddie. Okay.
Because you can put who you want, right? Personal choice.
Yeah. I mean, listen, let me tell you something. On the Democratic committee where, like I talked about, Miss Stacey Martin, she did a write-in vote and she had 61 votes. I mean, that's a good thing. As far as Murphy's, I in my opinion, just because I'm not saying this just because I support him and all that, but I was critical of him during the coronavirus at some point because of the lockdown, but I kind of thought about it and said, you know what, this guy's trying to protect us. We were all trying to protect each other, but the thing about it is, I got vaccinated back in March, and it says in the paper today, vaccines over 99% effective in New Jersey state officials say. So how do you know if it's effective? Because you still could catch the coronavirus. And I just encourage people to get vaccinated. It's over 1,319 through cases, 7 deaths tracked in 4 months. That's what the Star Ledger is talking about. So, that's what the stats say, but I could understand why people are not getting the vaccine because the J&J has some issues. It's a crucial time in New Jersey, but we just have to decide who's going to lead it the next four years. I mean, New Jersey and Virginia. New Jersey and
No,
Virginia are the only states are running for governor this election. It's going to be a crucial issue as far as number one, the vaccine. Number two, the medical marijuana, where our mayor and council was discussing it right now. It's on the table. It's been on the table for
recreation.
about a minute.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recreational marijuana. I actually didn't vote. I tell you to be honest with you, and I'm telling you the truth because I'm a Democrat, right?
Hmm.
I actually didn't vote for medical marijuana, but I had a conversation with one of the council people uh, up in the South Ward. It does bring money to the municipalities. I brought them a lot of money to Patterson, New Jersey, to get stuff that they need, like PPE and all types of stuff. So, it is what it is. But I thank you for your time on your show tonight. I'll let you go, Roshana. All right. So,
Thank you and
I just
congratulations.
wanted.
But listen, when I'm gonna call you when I'm in town because my kids need to come and go to the Star Tavern. So I'm gonna hit you up and see where
Oh,
you are.
that's the best pizza around. So I'm gonna chop it up in the wrap it up with you. You can go on with your
Yep,
show. Thank you for your time and your
my
support.
pleasure. And
Peace.
congratulations again.
Thank you so much. I
My
mean, please
pleasure.
consider Phil Murphy.
Listen, I just haven't endorsed him. That's all I'm saying. So, as a
Well,
committee person, I'm not allowed to endorse any other candidate. You know that, right? Or they're going to kick
Roshana,
me out of the
listen.
committee.
Because let's got a long. It's gonna be a long summer, but we got to get people out to
Yeah.
vote. You know what I mean? Because that's important. If you don't vote, see the last election when Christie
Hmm.
first became, we didn't get out there and vote. We sat on the couch watching TV, and look what happened.
Talking
You
about,
know what I
don't worry,
mean?
he going to win, remember? Not me. I always vote. So, but most people were like, oh, he's going to win. Don't worry, Corzine. Like, and then Christy just showed up like gangbusters.
Christie was the type of guy where he just like, if this was happening right now, the coronavirus, he tell you to go in the classroom. He'll tell
Hmm.
you to go in the classroom and wear the mask. And that's another
Right.
thing. What he's trying to. It's a big discussion right now for educational teachers and children. It's kind of like an orange here. I can tell you firsthand that I know. Okay, that the superintendent of schools, Dr. Gerald Fitzhugh, they do testing. They still have virtual learning for students that don't want to come into the classroom. Well, that's all good, but the students are tested every day. They do a coronavirus protocol. They
Hmm.
ask the parent to fill out, there's a form, like a form filled out by the parent and sent it in electronically on a daily basis. The schools
Hmm.
are closed here on Wednesday because of the PPE cleaning of the facility. Um, and that's what it is. I mean, that's what I know about Orange. You know what I mean? But we got to keep the kids,
Yeah, well, thank
parents.
you for letting us know about that because folks don't know. Just so to be clear, King said there's no virtual school in September, so parents be prepared. And if you want to see what people are talking about, I'll talk about that later. But thank you for being here. I will talk to you soon. When I come to town, I'll hit you up.
All right, talk to you. Peace out, Roshana. Thank you for having me on the
All right.
program.
All right. Stay well. Take care. Bill is awesome, and yeah, he's a committed, dedicated Democrat. So that I'm happy that he won his reelection, and that is awesome. Listen, the King has said, King Murphy, that there is no virtual school. He wrote that down. He said it out loud and all like that. And again, no parents had any input in that. I want to just say to you, consider going to the National Parent Union, right? So check out the NPU. They have a Facebook page. Our region is the Northeast region, and you can get information as it becomes available, so that you can, have what information, the facts, and see how you want to proceed. I know that some folks are advocating for choice, And that's a real thing, because I'm going to say this to you. In our district, I don't know if it's changed, but I know that a number of years ago, probably four years ago, the students had an option to do self-guided study, right? Whereas they would get their assignment, they would have the packet. This is before the whole internet and the virtual thing. So the student would get a packet for their course, and they would have the course material submitted over periods of time, and they would do, self-guided studies to help them redeem credits. So if we still have that option, then what's so hard or difficult? I don't know if it is or if it isn't. Maybe I'll invite a member of our Board of Education. Maybe our president will come if she gets permission to come and speak on behalf of the board, or they'll allow the superintendent, Dr. Hazelton. But again, what I'm saying is virtual is a thing. Some parents embrace it, and it's beneficial for their young people. I know my nephew, it was funny. He asked me, are we going to go virtual tomorrow? Now, unfortunately, he couldn't because there was nobody to be with him to help him hands-on, but he enjoyed the virtual. He liked the virtual. And also, it was hot, and he didn't want to have to wear his mask in school. That was before the king said, the districts had an opportunity to choose, when it's high heat and whatnot. So our district chose to have the children have a mask available instead of having to have it on 100% of the time. So I'm just saying. I am not endorsing Jack Chitterelli at all. I'm just saying to you folks, in the November election, it doesn't matter what your party is, you can choose from any party based on your interests, right? Do your research. Check out both of the candidates. They both have websites, all right? Check it out. Do your research and see whatever your interests are. My interest is the Second Amendment. My interest is the restrictive and horrible way that these Democrats, majority of Democrats, are treating legal firearm owners, trying to punish the people who have followed this restrictive and stringent process to even be eligible to own, purchase, and possess a firearm. My other issue is Murphy. He's all smiles and glamour for the camera, but what about the real work? I'm not going to say anything about the fact that they rushed through this bill. I forgot the number now, but it was a hot topic for braiders, people who do natural hairstyles. You are doing a disservice to these people, right? Giving them no education. You're setting them loose on consumers, and the consumer doesn't know one way or the other. And what recourse do they have? The salons aren't, being licensed. People are just jumping behind the chair, not practicing disinfection and, bacteriology, contamination, all of that. That's a real thing. Anyway, I digress. That's my cosmetology teacher in me, and also it's a passion of mine. So that's a failure also. We also do not have a permanent commissioner of education. What's the problem, Phil? What's the problem? Seriously, fill in all of what is missing before you start running around talking about what you're going to do that's so fabulous. I'm just going to say the phrase that I've been hearing over and over again. We need to fix New Jersey. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so next week, you will hear from, it's going to be an official community meeting next week, by the way. The councilwoman is going to be here. And I will have important information from the Essex County Surrogate. Their team will be here to provide information to you. We'll also provide information about life insurance should you need someone to contact. And if anybody wants to, submit their information or, post an ad for your business, then email realtalks@rashana.com and we'll post that for you. Absolutely. So subscribe to the channel, right? Check out the previous episodes. Hit me up on the website. Check out, any issues you might have. And if I want to hear from you, what are your thoughts about, no virtual school coming up? So New Jersey is about to open back up. I'm being cautious. I hope that you will be cautious as well. But again, what's our plan for the young people in September? And I'm going to close up my whole statement about self-guided study. That program works, and it's all on paper. So if that's still available in our district, maybe some of the parents in the Linden Public School District would consider that if they so desire, self-guided study. Like your kids shouldn't have to be suspended or like really, really, really sick to have other options for education. That's all I'm saying. So check out the National Parent Union.org and check them out on Facebook. There's a Northeast region, and you'll see what is happening, what they are advocating for, what education they have out here for parents. And join, it's free. Join. Tell them I sent you, just so you can get that information. All right. I'll see you guys next week. We're going to continue with our Thursdays at 7 o'clock. Until then, stay well. Stay tuned. See you next week.